All right, what's going on, guys? Today is April 28th. I'm going to be going over today's price action and the one tick that I took today. Today I took a win. I'm up $773 on the day today. I'm still trying to get some of these evals passed, so just sized up a little bit this morning. And yeah, just going to go over what I saw today. Um, there's a lot of controversy around this trade that I took, and I understand both sides of it. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's begin just on the higher time frame, right? So daily, we look like we're trending lower, but we're still at all-time highs. So we need to scale down a little bit to get more of a precise higher time frame bias. 4 hour, we can clearly see that we did inverse this 4 hour a while ago. We're clearly trending lower here, just displacing to the downside. And what do we have? New day opening gap, right? So clearly I see that we're displacing to the downside on the 4 hour here, and we're trending towards this new day opening gap clearly, right? So let me get my thing out of here. Yeah. All right, and I can clearly see that we're displacing down towards this new day opening gap. I really want to see this get taken, and then we also have a low inside of an hourly, as well as if we go to the 15-minute, a cleared low inside of a 15-minute, and then this new day opening gap is yet to get hit. So even though we are retracing slightly, right, on the 15-minute before market open, I want to see us go lower, right? I just don't think this sell model is completed yet. Right, we can clearly pull out the curves here. Let's go to the 1 hour. Right, so we can clearly see, gosh, my curve is terrible, but you'll get the point. Right, you can clearly see we're trying to complete the sell model here. And I don't think the sell model has been completed. I think that we wanted to go into this new day opening gap and then maybe push lower here, but honestly, the sell model is not completed yet. So I want to see us go and take out this, or tap into this new day opening gap, manipulate down there. So I'm bearish on the day. I really want to see us maybe reject out of this higher time frame key level, these 15 minutes right here, give us a short position down to this new day opening gap. And ideally, I want to see us manipulate to the upside off open. So that was my bias coming into the day. Let me go to market open here. All right, 929 market open here. So we can clearly see the market does manipulate to the upside off open, which is exactly what I wanted here. So I did want us to manipulate into the upside. I want to see us probably go a little bit higher here. Ideally, I wanted to see us, retrace up into this 15-minute up here. But I was just gonna see what the market gave me here. See if I, got any setups to the downside. Just let the market kind of, God, why am I forgetting the word? Let the market create some more structure. Gosh, I don't know why I forgot the word there. But that was my plan, just coming into the market open and seeing us manipulate to the upside. And this was actually pre-market manipulation, right? So I left that as my buy side counter for the day. This is a 9:29 a.m. high, so not 9:30 high. So I kind of left this as my just minor buy side for the day, thinking if we were going to come back up there and get a resweep to deliver us lower. So that was kind of the idea at this point, and we manipulate lower. What do we manipulate into? We manipulate into a 5-minute fair value gap, right? And then we also are inside of a 15-minute as well, and we had this low right here inside of this 15-minute. So I wanted to see that get swept, and ideally, push through this 5-minute if we are going to be bearish towards this new day opening gap. But that's not what ended up happening. We actually got an SMT inside of our key level here. ES failed to sweep out this low. We tapped into our key level, delivered perfectly. Bodies respected the CE of the fair value gap. SMT, we had 930 high above, this minor pre-market buy side, and I think this was a Trump data high actually. And we get this beautiful IFEG candle, right? So this was enough for me to take my entry to the upside. I had it was like right around here. I was just targeting this 930 high or this 929 high, data high. And then ideally I wanted to take a break even at 930 high. But I don't think I really needed to in this trade, so I don't think I even went break even. But nevertheless, I really did like this setup. But it was it's a pattern trade, right? So that's where the controversy comes in about this setup is a lot of people are saying that this was a terrible trade, or it was, not a terrible trade. It was like an A plus terrible trade, right? So everything aligned, all our confluences aligned. It looked perfect in hindsight. Even at the time, it looked perfect. But you just kind of have to realize that we're longing with, we're going against the trend. The trend is clearly bearish. We have this new day opening gap below. So it's a pattern trade, and there's not really any draws on liquidity. I guess this is a slight data high. I'd have to go double check, but I'm pretty sure this was a slight data high. I was just kind of treating it as buy side though. But there's really no draw on liquidity, right? We're inside of a higher time frame key level. Yeah, there's no draw on liquidity. We're going against the bias, no draw on liquidity. So technically, this is a pattern trade, but I, I would take this. I would take this probably 7 out of 10 times, and ideally, it'll play out probably 60, 70% of the time. But I liked it. I liked the trade. I liked all the confluences. I like how everything aligned. But at the end of the day, there was no stronger on liquidity, and I was going against the trend. So just something to reflect on, look back on, and just understand. But today got lucky and it played out. So just going through here, just a little bit of drawdown, respecting off this 1 minute, and there we go. We took buy side, right? So I was out 7 minutes into market open, made my money for the day, went break even at this 930 high, took out buy side, and that was the trade that I took today. I did. I really liked it. I really liked the setup. Just no draw, no like clear draw on liquidity, and we're going against the trend today. So just something to realize. But I really do like the setup that was presented to us today. And just moving forward in the market the rest of the day, we got a little bit of chop, and then we ended up displacing to the upside here. We come back, and at this point, I'm looking for shorts, right? We've manipulated higher. We're inside of our 15-minute key level here. I want to see us respect this, and then go take out or go tap into our new day opening gap, which was our main draw on liquidity for the day. Obviously, I'm not going to take any trades, but just tapering for fun, paper trading, and this setup actually was pretty nice, right? So we got an SMT right here with ES, and there was a 30-second. On Top Step X, I have my 30-second time frame, but I'm not paying for extra CME data on TradingView while I'm not trading with any firms that use Tradevate, right? So. But there was a beautiful 30-second, just textbook V-shape inversion right here. The draw on liquidity is lower. We got an SMT. We're delivering out of a 15-minute. Could have taken it break even at this internal low. So this trade did look very nice. And if you wanted to held all the way down to the new day opening gap, you would have gotten stopped out at break even. But ideally here, you just go for, if you went for a 1-to-1 R, it played out beautifully. But ideally here, if you wanted to go for like a 1-to-2, targeting, what did we have? We had a 5-minute unfilled. We opened up a 5-minute unfilled. Yeah, you probably could have gone for a 1-to-2 here pretty comfortably, just being that the draw on liquidity was lower. And this would have played out beautifully as well. So honestly, you could have gotten 1-to-3 out of this as well. So that would have played out great. Probably should have taken partials if you wanted to, gone break even at this point, and then price would have rallied back up. And at this point, I would not have taken this. I just would have faded this. There's no higher time frame delivery here. Not inside of a 5, not inside of a 15, not respecting any 1 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, nothing. So no higher time frame delivery. The draw on liquidity is clearly bearish. If you took this, to be honest, this was a terrible setup. So it might have played out for you for a 1-to-1. Odds are you got break evens and it played out, but debatably, that was a terrible setup. You could say the same thing about this being a pattern trade, but I liked this. At least we had some higher time frame sponsorship here with an SMT, and a clear kind of buy side. For this, there was nothing really. There was nothing at all. So didn't like that. And then we ended up getting this trade right here a little bit later on. So what do? We open up a 1-minute BPR. The draw is still lower. We chopped around for a little bit before we get, I think it's this candle. Yeah, before we get this inversion right here. So I did like this setup as well. I saw a couple people take this. You could have gone for something like, debatably, ideally, you put your stop like above this candle right here, and you kind of go a soft stop, right? So you don't let the wick stop you out. You close your position if we get a candle body close above this area. Ideally, that's probably what I would have liked. and then you could have targeted, full new day opening gap here for a 1 to 6R. I did like this setup, and you could have taken your piece of the pie, of course, and if you wouldn't soft stop, you would not have gotten stopped out. If you did go hard stop, you would have gotten stopped out immediately. But I do like soft spot at this point here just because there's no clear spot for price to reject off of. You could have gotten something like this at this order block as well, and that would have played out just fine. So there was just a couple things you could have done there, right? And then price continued to trend lower from this point on, and I didn't really like much from this point on. You could have taken something like this out of this BPR right here. So clearly we're trending lower at this point. I like our draw being hit, and you could have taken something like this. Just gone for a short position right here, stops above this candle maybe. And again, targeted our new day opening gap. So there was two positions that you could have taken in here for shorts, which I both liked. And probably would have gotten stopped at break even on this one, right, on this other candle closure. But, the first trade would have continued to play out. And then from this point on, really didn't like much. We kind of just chopped around. There was nothing. And at this point, I'm done for the day, right? 11 a.m. stopped right here, right whenever we came up and take out the break-even point on this second trade. And so, yeah, that was pretty much it, right? If you were in this trade, I definitely would have held. I think the draw on liquidity is very likely to be hit. Probably scale, definitely scale. Maybe when we tap into this 5-minute again, sweep out this low, scale some. Could have possibly scaled a little bit of this BPR, but I would have probably used that as another entry point, maybe even added to the position. So there were a couple opportunities to definitely scale out of here and just hold a runner. And I'm not sure where we are currently in price, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to play out. Wow, okay. So actually, it's not playing out. It's trending, looking like you're going to go break even, which is surprising here. I'm really surprised that we didn't hit this new week opening gap, but we also could just be displacing into this 15-minute right here, sweeping out this sign, so this 15-minute, and delivering lower from this point on right here. But, ideally you took partials and, are not worried about your TP being, your break even being hit because you're already green on the day. So that's ideal. So really, this setup was good off open. I really like this. I took it. I made money. I like the setup. Just it was against the higher time frame bias. Other short opportunities that went with your bias that maybe you faded this and waited on. This 30-second was great. This 1 minute was good. And then this 1 minute was also good off the BPR reaction. And that would have played out as well for if you just went for a 1 to 2. That would have played out just fine as well. So there was a couple opportunities. I really liked it. Overall, today was, I enjoyed the price action. I thought it was good today. I enjoyed the price action yesterday as well. I think that yesterday gave us just so many A+ setups, but just no entry model, right? Which is just how it goes sometimes, right? But price is giving us the A+ setups. It's showing us the setups, and we're just not getting the entry model, unfortunately, yesterday. But I don't mind it. I know the setups are still presenting themselves, so I don't mind it. I like where price is at right now. I think we might be in the midst of a huge dump here, a huge retracement, but we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. Tomorrow, of course, we got FOMC, so if I'm going to take anything, it's going to be, probably try to keep it early on in the day, but I don't have too high expectations for New York AM, being that usually New York AM will just kind of create liquidity for FOMC to end up taking out once the meeting begins. So not too high expectations for tomorrow morning, but I like everything that happened today. There were definitely some great opportunities to make money in the markets. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys ended up green today or manage your risk accordingly. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me. I'll be back for a backtesting session later on, and then just continue throughout the rest of this trading week. So hopefully we're in for a good rest of the week. But that's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys later. Peace.